Mike Wolfe of American Pickers reduces prices in a Nashville store before it closes. But what happens to the antiques? Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. American Pickers star Mike Wolfe has reduced the cost of products and antiques inside his Nashville, Tennessee store before it officially closes. Mike, 60, revealed that he will be closing Antique Archaeology Nashville after 15 years in operation, giving consumers until Sunday, April 27 to shop. The United States Sun has exclusive images of the goods the American Pickers star has marked down. Select items, including Antique Archaeology and Two Lanes t-shirts, are 40% off. Beanies featuring Two Lanes and Antique Archaeology emblems are 50% off. Nashville grab bags, which normally price for $23, and feature pins, playing cards, and other items are now only $18. American Pickers. An Antique Archaeology leather flask is on sale for $13.99, down from $19.99. Select drinkware, such as shot glasses, mugs, and beer glasses, are 30% off. Leftover antique keys. The U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal that the antiques may still be available for purchase after the store closes. A store source told the Sun, some antiques from the Nashville store are on their way to the OA. Some he keeps. Some are headed to his bike business, Columbia Motor Alley. He will make the decision. I don't know if they'll have any public auctions. American Pickers Mike Wolfe closes Nashville Antique Store after 15 years and tells the reason for difficult decision. The insider went on to say he wants to prioritize family. He is pushing himself too thin. He's 60, and he wants to slow down and spend time with his daughter. He's got a lot going on. Mike and his ex-wife, Jody, have a 13-year-old daughter named Charlie. End of an era. Mike announced the store's closure on Friday via social media. He began the emotive message. After nearly 15 amazing years, we've made the difficult decision to close the doors of our Antique Archaeology store here in Music City. This building has meant everything to me, not just the brick and mortar, but the people, the community. Visitors from all over the world passed through those doors, told their tales, and reminded me every day why I began this trip in the first place. I've been really happy to be a part of this neighborhood, city, and chapter of my life. Even when things are going well, it's important to reflect on where your time and heart are leading you. That is my definition of family. It's slowing down, being grounded, and focusing on the new initiatives that are calling to my soul. I'm not going anywhere, not even close. Mike assured that he would still be picking, sharing, and selling online at the original LeClaire, Iowa store. He said, "But I've learned over the years that it's easy to spread yourself too thin, and balance is something we all pursue in one way or another. This isn't farewell. It's just a new rhythm. I'll be eternally thankful for every moment spent in that Nashville location, as well as to everyone who contributed to it becoming more than just a business. You made it home." According to the United States Sun, Antique Archaeology Nashville has received negative feedback from clients in recent years. Customers have filled Google reviews with complaints over the volume of stuff compared to the antiques sold at the store, as well as the high prices. Stunning to archaeers. The U.S. Sun earlier claimed that employees at the Nashville store were informed of the closure just one day before the general public. According to a source, this is their final week with Antique Archaeology. They discovered it a day before everyone else. Mike strives to be hands-on in every store he runs. He's attempting to consolidate a little bit so he can spend more time with his family, the insider said. According to the insider, staff members were astonished and outraged by the news. According to a second source, employees at the LeClaire, Iowa shop were warned of the closing weeks in advance. Mike will see the store off on Saturday, April 26, and welcome customers before the official closing on Sunday. Mike Wolfe has built a commercial empire that includes real estate, antique stores, and more. Mike's other passions. While Mike will continue to film for American Pickers, he has declared that he will take his longest vacation from filming yet. Mike will also use this time to work on other projects, such as attracting business and tourists to the lonely town of Columbia. Mike owns the bike business Columbia Motor Alley, where he works frequently. On Saturday, April 19, Mike and his girlfriend, Letitia Klein, attended the first Vehicles and Coffee event of the year, greeting fans and checking over vintage vehicles. The Sun previously revealed photographs and footage from the occasion, when Mike delivered an emotional address and thanked his supporters for their support. Mike also owns the vacation rental Two Lanes Guest House, a restaurant, and several Columbia properties. Other businesses, such as Build a Donut Bakery and Prime and Pint Restaurant, have opened in Columbia in recent years, following Mike's lead. The morning sun cast long shadows across the cobbled streets of Marathon Village. A slight breeze tugged at the bright red store seal osing. "Everything must go" sign taped to the glass doors of Antique Archaeology. People paused. Some stared. Others pulled out their phones to snap a photo, as if documenting the end of an era. Inside, the once tightly curated space was buzzing with energy, not from production crews or curious tourists, but from bargain hunters, longtime fans, and tearful regulars. Cardboard signs reading 50% OFF hung above rusted oil cans and neon diner signs. A weathered Coca-Cola cooler had a new handwritten tag, "Make me an offer." Behind the register, Mike Wolfe stood quietly, sipping black coffee and watching the crowds like a man attending his own garage sale and funeral rolled into one. Price tags and flashbacks. Antique Archaeology wasn't just a store. It was a memory vault. Every object told a story, stories Wolfe and his team had unearthed from barns, basements, and backroads across America. The rusty bicycle on the wall? Found in Iowa. The vintage barber pole, pulled from a Kentucky barbershop about to be demolished. Each item had passed through Mike's hands, selected not for profit, but because it whispered something to him. And now, those whispers echoed louder. He walked the aisles, adjusting price tags and pausing in front of certain items. A 60s jukebox, an old gas pump signed by a fan, a stack of vinyl records with handwritten labels from a forgotten radio station in Georgia. "People think it's just stuff," he murmured to a nearby employee. "But these things, they're pieces of people's lives." The crowds and the questions. Locals jostled alongside tourists who had caught wind of the markdown mania on social media. An older man in a cowboy hat haggled over a Texaco sign. A young couple debated whether they could fit a retro icebox in the back of their Prius. Several fans recognized Wolfe and approached with cautious reverence. "Mike, are you really selling everything?" One woman asked, clutching a book of old license plates. "Almost everything," he said with a half smile. Another customer asked the question that had been circling online all week. "What's gonna happen to all the antiques that don't sell?" Wolfe didn't answer right away. He looked around the store, then lowered his voice. "That's what keeps me up at night. Where the heart is." That night, after the store closed, Wolfe remained inside, sitting cross-legged on the wooden floor, surrounded by the remnants of his legacy. He ran his fingers over the edges of a World War II helmet. Nearby, an antique typewriter clicked softly as he pressed a few keys, each one echoing with the ghosts of forgotten letters. The antiques that didn't sell, some he had plans for. He had already reached out to small museums in the region, places that couldn't afford to buy but deserved to preserve. "I'm donating the jukebox to the Tennessee Music Hall," he whispered to himself. "And that gas station sign? It belongs back in that town in Missouri." Others he'd keep in a private storage barn, away from the cameras. Not for sale, not for show, just to hold on to. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.